So you're trying to decide whether or not it's a good fit for you to live in Byron, Georgia? Well, I actually live in this city personally, and I want to go over the top 3 pros and the top 3 cons when it comes to living in my city. And to start things off, let's talk a little bit about the history of the city. Lord Byron, back in 1874, founded our city when he came over on the Mayflower. I'm just kidding. No, seriously, Lord Byron was the founder of Byron, Georgia. And it's crazy to think that our population in the city is only 6,200 people. To put that into context, the city right next to us, Warner Robins, has almost 5 times the population. However, we're just a short 10-minute drive away, and we're right off of I-75. So when it comes down to it, it's a city where you can be backed up against peach orchards, have a little bit of country land, but still be really close to everything. So here, I want to start off with pro number 1. And pro number 1 obviously has to be the community and lifestyle, because down here in Byron, it's just different from the rest of the United States. I'm not trying to be offensive in any way, but I just love being in this area. It's still yes sir, yes ma'am, people hold the door open for you. And everybody pretty much knows who everybody is because of how small the city is. But I want to go over a few things within the local city or just a short drive away when it really comes down to the different type of community events. And number 1, I want to start off with my wife's favorite, which is Massey Lane Gardens. They have a festival every year in the springtime for their camellias. They have thousands and thousands, and they're all in bloom in the early spring. And it's really pretty to be able to go out and check that out. And we have other things like Food Truck Fridays when it comes to Peach Park. Peach Park has pickleball courts, tennis courts, baseball, soccer, walking, everything that you could imagine. Even in April, May, September, and October on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays, they have vendors that fill up the entire green space over at Peach Park, and it has a bunch of different vendors. They have food, they have everything you could imagine. So whether or not you're a vendor and you want to sell stuff, or you want to go out and check out some really cool homemade items from other people, it's a really fun thing to be able to choose and go and do in our community. And also, you know, like the majority of most cities, they have Christmas parades, they have Easter egg hunts when the entire city gets together. They even have like a haunt on Main Street on October 31st when it comes down to trick-or-treating, and they even have a parade for the police officers. But now getting into con number 1 has to be nightlife. I'm just being honest, it's non-existent. After 8, 9 o'clock, there's nothing going on. So that's the fastest con right there. No nightlife. If you really want nightlife, you're going to either have to drive over to Warner Robins, or you're going to have to go up to Macon when it comes down to it, when it comes to like live music at nighttime, alcohol, and all the other good stuff, which isn't actually good. Depends on who you ask for nightlife activities. Going into number 2 when it comes down to the pros is the housing market, okay? Average home price, $240,000. Median home price, $301,000. It really just depends on what you're specifically looking for if you're looking to buy within the local area. For me, for example, you can get a lot of land. You can be backed up to a peach orchard in the middle of nowhere, or you can actually go towards Warner Robins or the inner city and be able to build a home within a neighborhood. It's completely up to you. There's a vast majority of new construction, or like I was talking about before, the city was built in 1874. You can get a historic home in downtown. It's completely up to you. And con number 2 has to be the job market, specifically in Byron, because like I was saying, 6,200 people, not a lot of job growth happening, and there's not a lot of industry within the city. However, the city's pretty small. So when it comes down to it, we're right next to Warner Robins, which has Robins Air Force Base with almost 1,000 job openings just for government work. We have contractor work over there. We're just south of Macon. There's a lot of industries that are booming when it comes down to be able to have job growth. So if you're looking for a job, you're most likely going to be looking around the Houston County, Warner Robins, Macon area. And then when it comes to your living situation, if you do choose to want to live inside of Byron, Georgia, it's not a bad idea to travel a little bit to work to be able to have a community where you still live out in the country, but you're still close enough to work so you have a short commute. And pro number 3 has to be safety and the quality of life. So let me tell you a little story here real quick. So I was in the military. I was going crazy one night. I'm laying down on the couch. It's like 11:30. Dogs are going crazy. Okay. And my wife is like, Luke, I think somebody's in the back door. And I hear, and it sounds like gunshots going off. And it kind of, the echo of the shots hitting off the back of my house. So I thinking, oh goodness, somebody's shooting at the back of my house. This is crazy. So I go outside and then I freak out because I hear suppressive AR going off way back behind my property, and for some odd reason, I thought somebody was shooting at me. I don't know. You get woken up in the middle of the night, and you just, crazy story. Long story short, it was some people that were poaching, and they were inside of the peach orchard that I live next to, and they were shooting hog. And they weren't actually poachers. That's just what happens when you live out in the country. I went crazy. I called 911. They showed up within 3 minutes. But within 3 minutes, I live at the very bottom of the city. So the fact they were able to get over there that quickly was wild. So when it comes down to safety, it is amazing. I'm not having this story to be able to scare you off, but I just want to let you know that it's such a small city with such low crime rate that when you actually call 911, people show up to help you. It's not a major city where you call and you hope that they can get there in time because they're so understaffed. One of my favorite parts about living here, even though I used to be a police officer, I give them an A+++ when it comes down to response time and the amount of officers they have per capita when it comes to the amount of people. Per capita or per population? You know what I mean. And con number 3 for me has to be growth. I know we only have 6,200 people and some change with a 2% increase per year, but there are some real estate developers that have snuck into the city and they're building a lot of new construction homes. Less than 3 minutes down the road from me, there's a huge neighborhood going in that they're gonna have over 500 new construction homes, ranging right around the $300,000 to $400,000 range that are 4+ bedroom homes. Beautiful, beautiful properties, beautiful homes that are going up. But again, I like the country where I don't run into anybody and there's absolutely zero traffic. So me personally, it's a con. For you, might be different. But hey, thanks for staying tuned to the end of the video. I know this probably isn't enough information to decide whether or not you should move to Byron, but go to the description below. Just shoot me a text message. My phone number is 478-888-7808. I love to be able to answer any questions that you have when it comes to our local area. Maybe it's cost of living or anything like that. And I'd love to be able to serve you and your family. If you're looking to see what a home actually looks like in the $400,000 range in Byron, go check out this video right here. Lord Byron, back in 1874, found our city, which is 6,200 people. Oh, no, I can't do that. Oh, goodness gracious. I might add that in there. We'll see. That'll be the opening when it goes over a little bit about the history, Lord Byron. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go.